So I'm having a chat with Devon Gilfillian. How are you?
So good, Jim. So good to be here, man. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. And we're having this little chat because you've released a brand new record, Love You Anyway. Tell us a little bit about the release.
Man, I'm so excited. It's crazy at releasing an album not during a pandemic. You know, the first album I put out was 2020, and everything was looking beautiful and great, and then the poo hit the fan, as they say, and it just feels like nice to get a second chance. And I don't know, I don't plan on putting out music anytime soon, but it feels like I'm more grateful more than ever that I get to put this music out and then go out and play it in front of people. So that's a beautiful thing that I'm excited about. And yeah, I feel like I know myself more. I know myself a lot better, and I'm able to reflect myself into this album. You know, even deeper than the last one. So yeah, I'm excited for y'all to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering the last release was during COVID times, what did you do differently, if anything, with this record compared to the first time round?
You know, I had so much time to write it, to reflect, to figure out who I was, and to figure out what I wanted to say. And I feel like a huge part of, during COVID, just all of the racial injustice happening and all of the, the dirt that was under the rug that was so visible, it kind of taught me who I was as an artist and what I wanted to say and what my responsibility was with this gift of music. And, it definitely dictated the message that was in the album, which is, trying to, it's definitely, I wanted to highlight the love and the joy that was happening in my life, as well as the, my eyes opening up to the action that needs to happen to change the crap that's happening in this country that's wrong, the polarization that, is leaving us unable to hold our politicians accountable because we can't get on the same page, So that definitely, the pandemic allowed me to reflect and to really squeeze all the juice into this album and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get to play these tracks live finally. You've got a couple of dates coming up. Where can people see you in the coming weeks and months?
Oh man, well, I'm coming over there with My Morning Jacket, as you know. I'll be over there at I believe the 30th in London. I'll be there. Let me O2 at the O2 Forum in Kentish Town, and then on the 31st I'll be there in Manchester at the O2 at the Ritz Manchester, which is I've never played a show in London or Manchester in the UK before, so I'm very pumped.
Yeah, I bet you are. And you've got a whole host of other dates as well across the US and into Europe as well. I bet you. How do you plan for a tour like this coming up? Where are you at the moment as well?
How do we plan for it? So right now we're like, I do have a show in Nashville opening for Emily King, and then we hop right on the plane and get over to the UK, play a couple shows there, going to Belgium and playing there, and then the Netherlands, and then we pop back to the US, play Bonnaroo. We got some other festivals in the summer, and fall we're looking to do some headlining. So that's when we're we're gonna put our big boy pants on, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking of some writing process now, how do tracks tend to start off for you? Is it a melody first? Is it the lyrics first? How do things kind of start off for you?
I feel like I'm like walking around or in the shower, or you know, just like minding my own business, and then a melody just kind of pops in my head, and I sing it over and over, and I'm like, okay, that melody's not going anywhere, and I'll record it, and then I'll try and find a chord progression. And to me, like, the guitar and the drums are always like linked together. The rhythm, the heartbeat, and has to link with the guitar. So like, to me, the drums and the guitar link up, and that's how I start the song. And the lyrics to me are the part that I have to go treasure hunting for. I have to hunt and like mull over for a minute, you know, a day or two, usually, with some editing after. But yeah, that's usually the process.
Yes, and once you've kind of got the demos sorted, how do things go from that demo to a final track once you've kind of stepped foot into the studio?
You know, I mean, all of the demos for this album, we absolutely flipped on its head, and even songs like, I want to say, like songs like Brown Sugar Queen, like that song felt like it was done. Like we felt like we had the roadmap, and then we completely changed the drum beat. And you know, for all these songs on the album, we built them from the ground up, starting with the drums and the bass, and then, you know, guitar and keys or synth on top of that, and laying the vocals. Vocals is the last thing, because it's, to me, I love to have the bed there to emote off of. And but from demo to track, it's such a process, I would say. There's so many details, and is this cool? Like, is this part working? Or like, oh, we got to add this, and a lot of massaging for sure.
Yeah, good. And what happens to the tracks that you've kind of got but you haven't used for this album? Do you use them and consider them for the next record, or do you push them to the side, or what happens with those now?
You know, they become my little children that I still love, you know, but I'm waiting for the right opportunity, you know. It's funny because, like, all I really want to do, I wrote that back in 2018 for Black Hole Rainbow, and it wasn't quite there yet. It wasn't done all the way, and it just stuck around, and we dug it out. Me and my buddy Rand and Henry Brill, we dug it out and was like, this is a bop. We got to finish this. And so it's like, sometimes it just takes years for songs that are there, that are like, you know, still humming in your ear, and you know, you got to revisit them and hope maybe bring them back. But you know, there's the other ones, maybe someone else will pick up, and you know, you show someone and they fall in love. It's just got to plant the seed somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. And one other thing, you decided to do a track-by-track cover of Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" during lockdown. What was the reason behind doing that, and do you think you might do something similar again?
You know, Jim, the reason I did that was really purely to bring people together and bring as much power and talent together to fight the voter suppression that is happening in the U.S. right now, currently. And I mean, I went out to a protest after George Floyd was killed and saw people banging drums and playing instruments, and I was like, I want to do that. And I went home and learned what's going on on acoustic, and I broke down crying in that moment because I was just flabbergasted that these words were already written and they weren't, and we're in the same place that we were 50 years ago when the song was written, and so I was like, I was angry, I was depressed, I was sad, and but also I wanted to do something because I knew that this election was more important than anything, and democracy is at stake in this country, and it needs to be fought for. And so I was like, let me cover this, just what's going on, and then just inner city blues, and it just eventually was like, all right, let's do the whole album. And I'm so glad that we did. I got to bring together all these amazing Black artists that I love in Nashville and in the United States, and just lift their voices that don't usually get heard, and raise some money for this nonprofit called Equity Alliance, and they fight voter suppression in Tennessee, which is really awesome. And they actually played a big part in getting Justin Jones, the legislator who was kicked out just recently and then put back in. They really played a big part in getting him elected. So they're an awesome organization. So, but yeah, what's going on? And it wasn't for me to hear myself singing Marvin Gaye songs. That's for sure. Like Marvin's the GOAT, and like to cover his music is. I was not trying to beat. No one's going to beat him. No one's going to beat him. And to me, it was a beautiful project, just to like have fun and bring people together.
Yeah, good, excellent. Well, Devon, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Jim, thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate you.